Well, time for a look at sports. Sandy Pepper joining us now from the newsroom with the story of a high school tennis star who, in the words of one local fan, recently put on, quote, the most courageous performance I have ever seen. Andy, we've got to see this.
All right, thank you, Kate. Good evening, everybody. Folks, the story we're about to share with you features a young man who made a rather incredible sacrifice for his teammates in the name of loyalty and love.
Back on October 2nd, we introduced our then latest athlete of the week, Loy Norrick senior Jake Gumbleton.
Jake hits the ball hard, and when Jake is on, I'd take him against almost anybody. His first serve is amazing.
And that lethal first serve had Jake on the cusp of the state record for most consecutive victories.
People all know what the magic number is. Right now he's got 78. He needs to get to 80 is the record, so he needs to get to 81.
And 3 days after our story aired, Jake would get to 81 after winning the #2 singles flight at the SMAC Conference Championships. Up next for Gumbleton and his teammates was the Division II regionals in Holland. But on the day before regionals, Jake's world was rocked with the tragic news that his brother David had been killed in a Wyoming car accident.
Jake called me the other morning, unfortunately, with the news and told me that he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play. And he called me back and he said, "Coach, I want to play." So I want to play for two reasons. I want to play because I love this game because of my brother, and I want to honor my brother. He says, "And the team needs me too, Coach."
And the team needs me. Jake, stuck at #2 singles behind two-time defending state champ Davis Crocker, could have transferred earlier in his career and played #1 singles at virtually any other school in the state. Crocker, with nothing left to prove, could have chosen to play junior tennis, but also stayed.
I felt like I owed it to them that we would finish this out together and either triumph at regionals or just go down as a team.
We never really had the strongest teams, and we finally had a little bit of depth, so it was our best shot.
And so, less than 36 hours after losing his brother, Jake Gumbleton joined his teammates at regionals. If this were a Hollywood story, we'd have a Hollywood ending. But the reality is that Norrick suffered some unexpected early round upsets and came up short in its bid to qualify for states.
There was two that were bounced early and another one that got bounced earlier than it should have, and you could tell the kids were hurting too.
But while the team was eliminated from contention, Jake still had a chance to honor his brother by winning the same regional singles championship that David had won just 6 years before.
Talk to me about playing that day and playing those 3 matches.
Well, it was about one of the hardest things I've ever done. I knew David would want me to, so.
You could see it on his face all day long, the sorrow in his heart.
But losing wasn't an option. So Jake did what he'd done in every single match since the start of his sophomore season. He won.
You could see the pain on his face. You could see the determination. It's the most courageous performance I've ever seen.
I stopped in my match to just kind of tell him that and how proud David would have been of him, because that was the most incredible performance I've ever seen.
Jake Gumbleton finished his career with a state record 84 consecutive singles victories. The senior plans to continue his tennis career in college and is considering attending, among others, Grand Valley State, Western Michigan, and Michigan State University. From the newsroom, Andy Pepper, News Channel 3.